Hello everybody, my name is KarQ. Happy New Year. I haven't done a Suggestions Box episode in like a month. Been busy, took a little break, played a lot of Rivals, but now I'm back on regular Overwatch content, at least on this channel. Then obviously Marble Rivals content on the Marble Rivals channel. But here we go. First suggestion of the week for Overwatch is please give us Pearl or Pearlescent weapons after Jade or Onyx or Obsidian. Gold is cool, Jade is nice, but I honestly think there's enough red and blue skins and weapons in the game. Yo, I think Onyx and Sapphire are pretty basic. I haven't seen suggestions for Pearl, and I'm kind of down, like a very like white-ish, pearly, shiny, maybe a little pink or gold undertone. I'm about it, yeah. They would probably never do this, but here's my suggestion. Blizzard should add a 100% infinitely repeatable challenge that rewards you for 5 to 10 Overwatch coins. Let's say for 10 games played, maybe double progress for wins. That way, free-to-play players, just by playing the game, have an actual form of progression they can work towards to buy a skin for their favorite character, or even the battle pass. It would take so long to be able to afford a skin that Blizzard wouldn't lose out from just how much extra playtime players are putting in. You know, one thing I will commend Rivals that does something correct is they do have repeatable challenges where if you do enough and you get the Lord proficiency on the hero, your portrait changes on the bottom left. Now Overwatch's system, portrait is tied to the skin, so they don't have to do a change there per se, but like right now you get like a custom name card, I think, for doing certain progression on the heroes, but like they don't feel prestigious enough where people feel like it's worth going for. The repeatable challenge thing is fine, but not for coins, because with coins it'll get botted and then you're gonna get a lot of lower quality matches in general for people just farming the challenge. I think they first need to change the progression system where it displays the badge underneath their player icon in the game. Because like I mentioned this before in another suggestions video, but like, you know how in Overwatch 1 when you played rank, you could see like, you know, your emblem on the bottom left of your portrait. I don't know why they got rid of that. I think everybody enjoyed it. So at least if we're not going to have it in Overwatch 2, at least outside of ranked, and you play arcade, quick play or whatever, you can show whatever hero you're on, the badge mastery you have, because who the hell knows what the mastery badges even mean right now? There's like that emerald circle, there's like the purple square. What do they mean? Nobody knows because nobody looks at it. If it's regularly shown in your non-ranked matches, people get an idea of like, oh, that looks pretty prestigious. Oh my god, that Ana player has the gold pentagon or whatever the fuck it is right now. And that means they have like a lot of hours. It's not the same as Rivals where the portrait changes, but it's something they can work towards. And the way they can work towards that is continuously loop and redo a lot of challenges instead of just hitting like, you know, I think it's like if you hit like 1,000 sleep darts or a certain amount of hours played, every time you hit a threshold, you gain points towards it. And that's one of the things I really like that Rivals is doing, so something like that. I like the portion of it, a repeatable challenge, but not for coins. Suggestion, honestly, Junkrat should have a relative sensitivity for his tire. Console doesn't have the same crazy tuning that PC gets with the mouse and keyboard. It just, and it buffs Junkrat without pure CD or numbers getting changed. Honestly, yeah, if you can control the damn thing, I don't see why not. I actually thought Junkrat did have a custom rip tire sensitivity, but a lot of heroes in the game have quality of life changes over the years where there are custom sensitivities for different parts of different abilities. So like, this is a why not. I'm down for this. Suggestion, Zenyatta's Transcendence should cleanse all negative effects. I think you mean for the rest of your team, right? Because right now it obviously cleanses him because he goes invulnerable, in an invulnerable state. That certainly would increase his viability because right now Zen isn't getting played that much. Like if you get AoE antied, then you can just pop your Transcendence and cleanse everybody, but then that removes some of the counterplay available in the CC that happens. Like your team gets CC with Shatter, then this Transcendence becomes like a god ultimate because it ends up being a Suzu and a Giga Heal to bring everybody back up. Kind of like Luna Snow's ultimate in a sense. I don't think it's necessary for a game like Overwatch with a relative power level that everybody else has, but it does bring to attention that like I think Zen needs a little bit of love right now. Suggestion, let players vote for heroes they want reworked. Blizzard could release a short list of heroes they're considering for major adjustments like beyond basic balancing and let the community vote on which ones to prioritize. While the votes won't dictate the exact order of changes, it would give the devs clearer insight into what the community really wants. I actually think this is okay. I think community voting is fine, but it has to be baked into the game and not like something you have to find externally. Because if it's something you have to look for and vote for externally off the game client and into like a separate website, you only capture a certain subset of the population who are actively going out of their way to do it versus people who are casually playing the game and being like, you know what, I don't like the way this hero is. And then their input doesn't really get considered because they don't take that extra step to go out and vote. Like I play old school RuneScape and the vote needs to have like, I think 75% of the voters to win, not just over 50% vote, 75% to really capture the majority. I think Overwatch would need like something like that, 75, 80, even 90% favorability of this hero needs some sort of rework, but bake it into the client where you kind of have no choice but to vote, or not no choice, but like it's presented on the menu and easy enough for you to just click something. So yeah, I think this is fine. Whether they do it or not is a different story, but it does give a lot of interesting information and valuable data they could work off of. Suggestion, add a skin that has the April Fool's ultimate voice lines for each character. That would sell like hotcakes because a lot of people do like the April Fool's lines because they were recorded separately and really fun. Part of me wants to keep it just for April Fool's because it keeps the novelty of that mode kind of fun during that time of the year. So my counter suggestion is that the April Fool's ultimate voice line is like incredibly rare, like a 1 in 1,000 chance of popping your ultimate to hear that one. Only for yourself. I think like a randomly different voice line or people don't recognize on the enemy team would confuse you. But like if you press your button and your ultimate, you know your ultimate's being used and you hear a different line, 1 in 1,000 chance, you press your ultimate like 5 times a game, right? Or maybe less. It won't happen often, but it's like a fun Easter egg if it does. And that is what I would want. Suggestion, Mercy's hitbox shouldn't change when she glides, so you don't have to keep tapping space to stop the wings from opening. I know what you mean, because right now when Mercy uses her guardian angel, her wings spread out because she's a flying hero. This person is saying when you tap spacebar or your jump key on console a lot as you're descending, because when you're descending, your wings close because you're falling down and like you're floating down. But if you're like holding the angelic descent, your wings flare out. So the tech is to spam your jump and it keeps the wings closed and minimizes your hitbox at the expense of falling down a little bit quicker, but it's not by much. But I don't know, I think the hero fantasy of having your wings spread out to friggin' fly and float is perfectly acceptable. Maybe like shrink the hitbox a little bit, but at the same time, intuitively, if you see the wing and you shoot it and you don't take any damage, it also feels like ass. So maybe like in short, make the wings a little smaller overall for the hitbox, and then we're at a decent middle ground. But then again, are people really complaining about Mercy's hitbox? Her movement and move speed while she flies and floats is already quite good. So like, I don't know, this is something that just doesn't need to be changed at this point. Not really a big complaint, so not a necessary change. Suggestion, give push maps a chess clock system. There's a few different things that I could mean. I leave it to you to explore the options. What in the hell? So I know what the chess clock system is, where like the time you spend on your turn, there's like, 3 minutes on one person, 3 minutes on the other. When they're making their move, their clock ticks down. When they finish their move, clock pauses, the other clock goes. How could this work in push in a competitive setting? So when you're actively pushing, your clock is running down, like how much time you're spending pushing and how much time the person's stalling. When does it change? I guess if the push bot is stalled, the clock pauses. No, that doesn't make sense because like you leave it to me to explore the options, but this is so vague. But then it basically makes it so you can run like a stall comp to like buy time for your team if it's based on a chess clock system. I don't know. You're leaving it up for interpretation, but like I don't really know where to go down with this where it would seem competitively viable. So nah, but it's a good, good brain teaser if anybody in the chat, anybody in the comments wants to give it a whirl. I came to Overwatch from Battlefield 4. When you died in Battlefield 4, there would be a death cam that showed you 1, foe 3. Depending on how many times that one person had gotten the final blow on you that game. Can you add this to the kill cam screen, please? Oh, in the matchup specific? I'm kind of down for that. Or at least on the post-game scoreboard where like, I think some other games have that in the advanced scoreboard. I think it was in Halo where I used to play where like this specific person got X amount of final blows on you versus you on the other. Final blows is important obviously because eliminations in Overwatch is just tagging them with any sort of damage because it's an assist and kill. But the person who got the actual final blow is probably a more meaningful stat line. But maybe in the advanced scoreboard, I think the kill cam is fine as it is. People skip the damn thing so often. There's actually already a lot of information you can gather from it, like enemy ultimate charge and location and stuff like that. So, yeah. Suggestions. Zenyatta gains an ability, turning his alter ego Zenyatta, who sends ya outa the stratosphere with his kicks. Yo, hell yeah. Good shit. This is a dad joke if I've ever heard one. Suggestion, rotate open queue and mystery heroes in competitive. We need some non-traditional comp modes and this would help keep it fresh. I think every season you should definitely rotate some of these fun modes for comp. A lot of people say they miss competitive mystery heroes, myself included, and just rotate them here and there to make sure it's popular enough to fill queues. Because the problem with keeping these queues open at all times is like nobody plays them. So like keeping it quick play for mystery heroes makes sense, but competitive mystery heroes near the end of it, where people are actually hitting like GM and masters, like a GM player will be playing against like diamond or low diamonds or whatnot, because there's just not enough players at that rank playing at the same time. Also, my dog is starting to whine now, so I think I'm gonna call it there. Rotate it, yes, I agree. Okay, and that's it for suggestions box. Thanks for listening, and see you guys next week. Bye.